Hey everybody, welcome to the Knitting Turnpike. Hi, welcome to the Knitting Turnpike. My name is Gina Pike and I'm so happy that you're here today. Today is going to be a pretty short video. I'm just going to do kind of a quick little update, but I wanted to talk about something I've been talking about for a while now, and it's socks. I've been working through clue 2 of my Hope Remains shawl, and I'm getting ready to practice my first pair of socks. I wanted to kind of go through, I'm not sure exactly how I'm going to do. I've got my DPNs here. I've got some circulars. I'm not sure yet if I'm going to do with the circulars or with the DPNs, but I've got both out here. I wanted to show you what I have. I have my beautiful project bag that Beate made me. I have the yarn. I'm going to use this yarn. You guys know I loved this yarn, so I bought 2 more skeins for myself because I had given away the other yarn that I had in this color. This is Knit Picks Felici in Aquarium. Super cute. I thought it'd be also appropriate for St. Patty's Day. I have sock blockers, and I have the sock ruler as well. Never used, but I have all of that. I'm going to start looking at trying to cast on. Just wanted to show you all my stuff before I get started. And so I had a little bit of time in between some clues releasing on a current project I'm working on, and I decided to go ahead and just try. I wanted to cast on my first sock, and I wasn't sure what I was going to do. I measured my feet. I measured my feet across the ball of my foot. I'm going to show these. I'm going to take some pictures and show these. And I measured my foot across the top of my foot. I measured the length of my foot, and I measured my foot from my heel up to where I want my sock to hit on my ankle, or above my ankle, on my leg. Yes, that's my leg. Brain, please don't fail me now. And then I decided, okay, what yarn do I want to use? So I picked my self-strapping yarn. You guys know I love this yarn, and I had 2 skeins left over from the giveaway. This is the Knit Picks Felici yarn in Aquarium. Love this green. It's kind of like St. Patrick's Day socks and stuff. So, and then I had to decide, okay, what method am I going to use? I looked at some tutorials online, and I really liked, there's several that I like. I like Susan B. Anderson's. I like Curious Handmade, Helen Stewart. Her name's failing me. And then I also kind of like the Crazy Sock Lady. I like her stuff as well. She has some really good long videos and shows you each step in depth. So I decided to go with somebody I'm not that familiar with, but have heard good things from some of you guys. I went with a Crazy Sock Lady, and then I just had to decide, should I use DPNs? Should I use magic loop? Or should I try to buy like 9-inch needles and do the 9-inch needle method? So I was like, well, I'm not that great with DPNs. I do have a set of sock needles. These are mine. They're the wooden kind. I thought I'd start with the wooden kind. I'm trying to put a glare on this. They're just Knit Picks, and so I was like, I have those. I could use those, or I could. I'm actually more comfortable with circulars, so I decided just to go with the magic loop. I do not have any 9-inch circulars, so I would have to order those. But I am very interested in trying 9-inch circulars after knitting this. So I'm just going to go through the steps that I've covered so far, and I will maybe give updates as I go along on this, kind of like I do with my projects. But basically, I cast on, did a long tail cast on. I don't think I have a video for how to do the long tail cast on, but there are lots of videos out there on the internet. Then you knit a 1x1 ribbing, and that's just knit stitch, purl stitch, knit stitch, purl stitch, all the way around. The thing you have to do with a magic loop is you have to, once you cast on your stitches, you pull them down, and then you have to separate them. Oh, I got this in the middle too. Give me 1 second here. You have to separate them by pulling the cord through the back, like that. And this is a 40-inch US 1 needle. This is a here. This is an Addy Scasel Rocket squared needle, and I like it because it's got these little bumps on the needle, if you can see without blinding you from the light. And so it's still very smooth and slick. Your yarn slides across it very well, but sorry, my yarn is falling off everywhere over here. It's still smooth and slick enough for your yarn to slide across it, but it's does give a little bit of something to grab onto. Once you separate your needles, then you do your ribbing for however long she tells you to do your ribbing for. I think it was 20 rows of ribbing, and it's real fiddly at first, but basically what you do for the magic loop is you have it like this, and you have to pull. This is the part you just knitted. These are the stitches you've just knitted. They're always on top. You pull the needle through, and then you knit the ones on the bottom. You have to make sure your yarn's over the top as well before you pull that through. You pull it through, you start knitting. You knit the first stitch, and you pull it tight, and you knit the second stitch, and you pull it tighter. And I think that's kind of helps you to not get the laddering that so many people are worried about with doing this on circulars. And I want to show you, I did have that problem. I'm going to have to fix this. I told you guys when I started doing this, I would show you the good, the bad, and the ugly. Well, I have a little bit of ugly on this sock. Again, this is the first sock I've ever knit, and I've only gotten, down into the top part of the leg portion, so I haven't done very much. Just a few rows. 40 rows, 30 rows, if that. So I can't say that I'm a sock expert. I'm not at all. But I want to show you something when I get to the end of this. So you just knit this across like this. That's all I'm doing is knitting this across. But I do want to show you that laddering when I get there. I should have showed you before I started this. Once you knit this across, these become the stitches that have been knitted, and you have to turn it, and I'll show you how this works. And maybe this will help you decide if you want to do magic loop or if you want to do deep. So that I just finished knitting this. You take your work and you turn it like this and put it on top. So those become the stitches that you've just knitted. You push these back into these because you've got to work them like that. Put your working yarn over that top needle, kind of out of the way. So you have that all set up like this. Again, these are the ones you just worked. These are the ones you haven't worked yet. And then you just start. You pull this through and you start knitting. But I do want to show one quick thing before I do that again. It's this laddering. This is where I started. And you can see I do have a little bit of ugly here. I wasn't pulling my stitches tightly enough. And there are a few little stitches right there that have that hole. I wish I would focus on. And you can see I have a little bit of laddering there because I'm just starting to get used to this. So I've got to fix that. But again, this is just my first ever sock. I've never tried this before, so this is kind of like my practice run. I think I can fix it. I'm not so worried about. I think I can fix these this small little hole. It's not a lot. It's just that right there. And I think I can fix it. and I think I can, this is, I'm not worried about because it looks more like it's the ribbing anyway, so I'm not going to worry about that. So not too bad, I think, for the first sock I've ever knit. But let's get back to this. Once again, we just finished these. These are the ones we've got to knit. So you take the one on top, you pull it out, pull it around. You don't want to pull it all the way. You want to leave a little bit of this to keep it separate still. Once you pull it out, you just pull it around and you just start knitting the bottom row. And again, the first stitch, you want to pull pretty good. The second stitch, you want to pull even better. And I think that's preventing my laddering, because once I started doing that more consistently, I started seeing that whole thing go away. And I wish I would have been doing it the whole time. Anyway, I'm going to keep working on this, and this is just a plain vanilla sock. Again, I'm using the Crazy Sock Lady pattern. She has a pattern. This is a paid pattern in Ravelry. It's $5, but you get all three methods. You get the DPN method, you get the magic loop method, and you get the 9-inch circular method. So I thought that was a pretty good value. I'll put a link to that pattern in the description, and there's also a link in the pattern to the video that explains all of this as well, that shows you a little bit. Sometimes it's easier to see it than it is to read it. So it has a link to the video as well. And this is just going to be a plain, easy sock. No cabling on the leg, no lace. I can't wait to do all of that, because those are the kind of socks I like. But it's just going to be a simple sock with this self-strapping yarn, just till I get a feel for the different parts. So anyway, I've showed you the cast on. This is a top-down sock. The thing about the top-down sock is I think it's probably easier to knit, but the toe-up sock, the advantage with the toe-up sock is that you can try it on as you go along. That is a huge advantage, because that way you can make sure that you're making something that is going to fit your foot. And if it's not fitting, you can adjust it as you go on. You can add a few more stitches if it's feeling a little tight, or if it's feeling a little big. You can, put a few decreases in there to make this fit perfectly, but not with the top down. The top down, you can't try it as you go along. And again, with hers, this one didn't make you check the gauge. This one just, you jumped in and started knitting. And I think that's probably why I picked that one, because I was like, no gauge swatch. I'm going to just jump in and start knitting this. I'm hoping that it will fit my foot. My foot is 8 inches across, and the small was 8 to 9 inches across. And they also said in a couple of other tutorials I watched, I think it was Susan Anderson, said that you want to think about positive ease into your sock as well. So whatever your foot is, you want to kind of subtract an inch from that measurement, and then make the size for that size. So my foot's 8 inches around, so it'd be 7. Make a sock that's for 7 inches around. And the small on this one was 8 to 9, so I'm thinking it'll fit, even though it is looking a little small. But it does have a lot of stretch to it as well. I mean, look at that ribbing. That's amazing. So I think it will fit. Anyway, I'm going to keep on working on this. I just wanted to share this with you. A little small update. Show you that I am working on a sock. I'm loving the colors. Look at how they're self-striping. That's not me. That's just the yarn. I think it's really cute, really beautiful. And I'm going to keep on working on it. When I get to the next part, which will be finishing the leg and getting into the... this one has a slip stitch heel flap and a heel turn. And when I get into that part, I'll make another video and just talk about it. And again, I do want to talk about, doing some lives and get into more detail with you guys, so you guys can ask questions. But now I'm just doing this is just like a regular project update. And this is also me getting familiar with it, because I don't want to just not know anything about it and feel like I have nothing to offer you guys, because I've never knit a sock before. So I'm knitting a sock
getting familiar with it so that we can talk about it, and hopefully I can answer questions or find answers to questions that you guys might have. Anyway, thank you guys so much. Hope you're doing well. If you like this video, please give it a thumbs up. If you like this channel and haven't subscribed, and you like knitting and crochet and talking about whips and interacting with other people about your knitting, please subscribe to our channel. We would love to have you here. And thank you so much for watching. We will catch you next time. Hope you have a lovely day.